Good evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the nation. This is Texas Biker Radio number 346. My name is Mel Popeye Moss. My co-host, Mel O.G. Robbins, is with me via the internet, and our S.A. Geezer, he's here with me in studio. And Mel, good evening. How are you doing?
Oh, well, that's questionable, but by and large, I'm doing well.
Yeah, I can't believe we're still dodging rainstorms every week, every weekend. Seems like every third day we've got some everything from sprinkles to severe rainstorms to dust storms out in West Texas. It's incredible.
Well, you got the heat and humidity all day, and by late afternoon, those cells start forming, and all hell breaks loose.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Well, Mel, let's kind of dig into what's going on here in the Metroplex and around the state of Texas, and maybe around the state of the nation. But I want to talk about the knee-jerk reactions to things when either certain cities, the legislature, the governor, whoever it might be. Right now, here in the DFW area, we have murders at an all-time rate. Now, just the other day, a 13-year-old kid was killed as a standby. He wasn't involved in the altercations between these people in these two cars, and he was hit with a one of the rounds that came out of those cars, and it killed him. Now, right now, we've got a lot of knee-jerk reaction from the Dallas police, the Dallas police chief, the media, everybody else. There's all these knee-jerk reactions that comes from these events, and I'll tell you what this has to do with motorcycles in a minute. But we're building up to that. But we have all this stuff. We have all these murders, everything going on. It's like the damn OK Corral out there. And Mel, for one of the first times last night, I'd heard that a lot of this is due to the influx of people from other states, and in particular California, where not only did they bring their politics with them, they brought their gangs, and I mean real gangs, real street gangs. And we have,
well, if you'll remember, here a few years back, they had a hell of a lot of road rage incidents in California with a tremendous amount of shootings. It was greater than any other area in the United States. So, you can pretty much take literally the term that's always been used for California, the land of fruits and nuts.
Yeah. So we have this influx of people, and then we also have the influx of people not of this country being spread around the country, and in particular Texas. I mean, it stands to reason that the Dallas police force does not have as many police officers as they had in 2010, about 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
There's a reason for that, too.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, they treat their officers like shit.
Yeah.
They don't pay them. They have a flaming, raging, frickin' idiot for a chief of police.
That's right.
Not to mention the mayor and the rest of the people that sit on that council. Do you know that just the other day, the chief of their esteemed chief of police was talking to the public and made the comment, about violent crime and stuff like this, and how they're not able to to control a lot of it because it's a social issue where you have a lot of people coming back from prison that are uneducated, they're felons, can't get a job, and they have no choice but to commit a violent crime.
You know what, Mel? They have, when these guys are in prison, they have all kinds of educational programs for them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm just quoting that idiot police chief. Chief of police.
I heard her say that. But what I'm trying to point is that is such a lie. Because there are all kinds of programs, and Mel, even if they are uneducated, whose fault is that? I mean, who controls the school boards all across this nation?
Oh, absolutely. Well, look at that teacher that just got fired over in Fort Worth from the independent school district there because she tweeted they had illegals in the school system over there.
Yeah.
And something needed to be done about it.
Exactly.
So the school board fired her.
That's absolutely incredible. You are entitled to your opinion. And, just maybe we ought to get behind that teacher. Because she is entitled to her opinion and her ability to speak freely per the First Amendment.
Now I'll tell you, there's a lot of the country right now that's being run by idiots, and they're being voted in by idiots.
That's true. So people are not doing their due diligence, and as far as anybody that's brought into this country, they generally vote for the party that brought them in. And
but
we know where this is leading.
To the point you were talking about crimes and gangs,
right?
And what the root causes are, it's I'm sure there are a ton of root causes for what's creating that crime out there. But herein lies the problem. The MC community and bikers in general are considered, if the police department, if law enforcement and a governor or whoever the hell has law enforcement and justice departments under them can create enough of an image to the public about something that's going on, it's easy for them to get budget money.
Right.
That's how they build their budgets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how these gang task forces get formed, because they get budget money.
Right.
The problem is the biking community is considered low-hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to come after us and make up shit.
Right.
And that's exactly what they do.
Right.
Precisely what they do. Just like that other esteemed idiot, Nancy Pelosi, who went on the air not too long ago. They showed a video of her talking about what some of their strategies are. Well, where they will quote what they know is a frickin' blatant lie,
yeah,
as truth, just to get it generated, and people believe that crap.
Mm-hmm.
They, it's just like a lot of this stuff that floats around on social media that isn't true, but people see it, they buy into it, and they believe it.
Yeah.
And the police, law enforcement, is not going to admit they are inadequately prepared to fight crime. All they can do is go after the low-hanging fruit, because that's where the easy budget money is. And that's why they come after bikers, and we are built into this horrific drama that is put out there to the public that Hollywood doesn't help with their Sons of Anarchy and what the hell is that other, the spin-off from the Sons of Anarchy?
The Mayans.
Mayans, yeah.
Yeah, the Mayans. So you have Hollywood creating this spin. You've got law enforcement creating this spin. They're busily building databases where names are getting into them, and law enforcement floats around and they look and see, and if your name's in a database, bingo, they consider you a criminal. Yeah, what the hell? Lots of people don't even realize they're in a gang database because you can be placed in there inadvertently. It just, there's a great article that was written by a writer for CNN, which we just posted on all of our Facebook sites and Texas Biker Radio Facebook site, that everybody ought to read, because it basically pretty much puts it out there what the hell an MC is all about and what the hell the biker world's all about. And it's something law enforcement doesn't want to see because they're not going to want to believe it. And they even talk in that article, they even discuss in that article how Sergeant Swanton put a spin on everything and how it's very unlikely that that's ever going to be revealed as to the vicious lies that it was.
Yes. That's incredible, Mel, that comes from CNN.
Unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah.
I typically will skip over a CNN thing without reading it, but had one of our members back in Kentucky posted that, and I saw it on the news feed, and he said, I normally don't look at anything from CNN, but I read this, and it's pretty damned right on. I figured, I think I ought to read this. And I took the time to read it, and it impressed me so much that I copied the source, and I pasted it, and just posted it on every one of our Facebook pages we have, including All for One.
I can't wait. I have not seen it yet. I cannot wait to read it. And, we need more of it.
That's right.
We need more of it because, as I want to point out, the police chief here in Dallas, the city manager and the police chief are BLM supporters. All they've been about over the last year, maybe 2 years, is taking down Confederate statues. As if that's going to make the city safe. Crime is running rampant. All levels of crime are running rampant, not only in the Dallas area, but the Fort Worth area and the surrounding metroplex. Crime is up everywhere. And now the governor steps up and says, well, hell, we're going to make sure Dallas has the help they need. They're 1,000 officers short. They had 13 homicide investigators, where Houston has 80, where San Antonio has 50. Dallas had 13. So now they went and robbed Peter to pay Paul and pulled some other police officers out of other units, but not the gang unit. Oh no, not the gang unit. So they're taking everybody they can to put into homicide now, probably a few janitors too. But they're just robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're just robbing from what's already there. They're not hiring new people.
They can't get them because they treat them like crap.
That's right. The Dallas Police Department has been neutered by the police chief, who is a BLM supporter. And all that stuff happened on their watch. All that stuff. And that's Geezer's phone. And that was my sneeze
I was
while
going
ago.
to say. Grab a gun and shoot it.
Yeah. So we have all this stuff going on here in the DFW area. The governor says, hey, I'm going to send in reinforcements. I'm going to send in the DPS. Like that's any help.
Good Lord.
The DPS in Texas, from what we've seen, are nothing but liars and crooks. That's what we've seen out of the DPS. Since Waco, since we started digging into it, since we started looking into it, since we started looking at, in particular, at the DPS. And remember, those damn gang assessment reports are just that, a frickin' report. It's not law. But yet we have all these gang units all over the state.
And you have to wonder how empirical their data is.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, and I happen to know a lot about that because I spent some time at Honeywell as the director of process quality. So,
Right.
you know, I conducted focus groups, and learned a great deal about empirical data. So, you know, I can only hazard a guess that those reports that they come up with are really slanted and comes from very doubtful information.
Right. Right. And plus we have this what is it, that gang seminar that's put on around the state and around the nation.
Oh, well, that's put on by idiots to begin with.
Yeah.
Or as you like to coin the term, morons.
Morons, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really those are...
Confidential informants, paid confidential informants.
Really those
well,
seminars...
Hell.
Mel,
Go ahead.
really those seminars are nothing more than a way to get in the city's pockets, and it's a weekend romp for all the people that attend them, these guys in secret, with their girlfriends in tow.
Yeah. They hype them up. They get these very lucrative contracts from the cities and counties because it's paid for by taxpayer money, and the public is not invited.
No.
It's hard to get a hold of any literature they put out to try and understand exactly what in the hell they're talking about and how accurate is it. And it's being put on by people that are basically trained and tuned by law enforcement to try and create problems within different sections of the community, to where their handlers will question them about what's going on, and if nothing's going on, then damn it, you got to make something happen.
Yeah, exactly.
They're frickin' liars, and 9 times out of 10, they're felons that have been threatened, or there's somebody that's been threatened with some kind of a jail sentence if they don't cooperate with the police and do this, that, or the other, and tell the police exactly what the hell they want to hear.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Mel, it was the Waco police chief that said, we take confidential informants and undercovers, the information that they give with a grain of salt. But not the DPS. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not the DPS. They take it as 100% true and then act upon it with lethal force, as they did in Waco.
Absolutely. I would hazard a guess. I mean, I can't say that, 100% of confidential informants are phonies, because there are, on occasion, rare occasion, a concerned citizen who gets involved because either a family member was injured or done wrong, and they want to get the situation correct, so they work with the police department or law enforcement agencies to try and obtain information to get this justice done. But I will hazard a guess, and I use the word guess, that has to be 1% or less of all confidential informants, because most confidential informants are registered with the department, and most of them are users, addicts, criminals that have been caught, you name it.
Yep. Mel, our governor, Greg Abbott, the guy in the wheelchair, who evidently can't afford a motor to put on that thing,
Right.
or afford a hover round. I don't quite get it, why he opts for that, but I guess that's a personal preference. But that
He
guy,
can get more sympathy.
yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't say it, but that's what I thought.
I will.
Okay. You're so uncouth. so
You know
anyway,
me.
we have our governor who starts spinning donuts and say, get everybody into the database that even looks like a gang member. Now, he didn't take out a doodle pad and tell us or tell the DPS and all his minions what a real gang member looks like. So the police run out there. Well, who's easiest to round up? Coming down the highway. As it says in the motorcycle gang assessment report, they might be riding in a pack. They might be wearing a cut. They might be going to a party. Well, hell yeah. So they spot them coming down the highway, and the next thing you know, they're profiling everybody. Now, Mel, there was a knee-jerk reaction to when the governor said all that stuff. Get them into my database. Now,
Oh yeah, it fired them up everywhere.
yeah, so it fired them up everywhere. Now it seems like it's gone into a lull. The knee jerk is over. Just like what's happened in Dallas with all the media screaming about 40 murders in May. There was a knee jerk reaction to it. The mayor all of a sudden steals homicide investigators out of other departments. How they all of a sudden go from one to the other, I would think that the homicide division is a real specialist kind of job. So he's going to throw anybody into it?
I have a solution for the governor on how he can really expand the gang database. He could multiply it multiple times. All he has to do is insist that they register most law enforcement officers in the state of Texas.
There you go.
Because by their own definition of what constitutes a gang and a gang member, almost every law enforcement department that exists would fit that description, because they have individuals within that department that have created crime, that have committed crimes, committed a felony. They either got caught or it was covered up by other officers.
Exactly.
So, I would say to the governor, you want to really expand that database, get all your law enforcement in the state registered in that database, because by your definition and the way you're coming at the motorcycle community, they fit the profile too.
Mel, he could make it mandatory that any policeman that gets arrested outside of his jurisdiction, it's mandated that they report it.
Oh yeah, but see, you can take it further than that, because the way they've treated some of these clubs is, maybe the club has somebody in there that committed a crime, and because somebody in that club committed a crime, the rest of the club is deemed guilty.
There you go.
And is a gang.
Look
That's
at that.
where I'm coming from.
Look at that, geezer. We're solving problems here.
That's right. And a lot of police will tell you right from the jump. They say they're the biggest gang in Texas.
Yeah, they are.
So you don't have to make it up.
Oh, we've
They're
had
telling
them.
us that.
We've had them say that our gang
Yeah.
is bigger than your gang. Who was it that said that? Was that Abel Reyna?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was.
I seem to remember that statement being made,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I have to go back and check and see who it was that said that for sure. And on the next broadcast, we'll tell you.
Yeah.
So, But that was said. And you know
And,
what? That's a true
you
statement.
know, yeah. It may seem like we're picking on law enforcement
Right.
and justice a hell of a lot. And, we really aren't. The problem is, if you're going to start throwing rocks, if you're going to cast stones, you better be sure you're glad your house is in order.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Rather than, try and make up crap and grab what you think is low-hanging fruit, get out there and do the damn job you're paid to do.
Yeah. We're not saying if, any biker that gets out there and commits a crime, if it's, if he's doing a dirty deed, put him in jail. But don't
Arrest his
vilify
ass and
everybody.
get him off the street. You
Yeah.
betcha. I'll tell you what, if we find we got a dirty guy in our club anywhere, they're out.
Yeah.
We want no part of it.
So, it's common sense is what it is. But we don't see a lot of common sense floating around out there because we see that our police departments, including the DPS and the other government agencies, are being misused. Instead of chasing bikers up and down the highway, and you're not really chasing them because they do pull over, they do go along with what you're attempting to do when you stop and profile everybody. They try to be cordial, so everybody knows, hey, look, I just want to get it over with and get out of here. But there are those officers that want to push up. And
well, let me
exist.
add something here real quick to what you said about the cordial officers. Everyone needs to be aware. If you get pulled over for a traffic stop, or they're alleging that you did something out there in traffic and that's why they pulled you over, by statute they are mandated to keep you no longer than is necessary to execute the ticket or whatever and let you go. The problem you can get into, and you still need to be polite. Right. I have found throughout my life, if I just addressed a law enforcement officer as sir, and said yes sir, no sir, everything pretty much went fine. You eventually, you do run into some real dickwads out there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. I don't care what you do, they're still going to be an ass. But by and large, most officers will, give respect, get respect. But the minute you step over that line and engage in conversation with you, they can keep you there forever. And if you ever try and file an action against them profiling you and keeping you there too long, where you had to wait hours for the dog now and the gang unit and the whole bit, you've blown your case because they can simply state that you engaged them in conversation.
Exactly.
Just by talking to them, answering their questions. All you have to simply say is, sir, if I've been stopped for this, please either write me a ticket or let me go.
Yeah.
I don't need to answer any of your other questions.
Yeah.
I don't care to.
Once you start engaging them in conversation now.
You just open Pandora's box.
That's right. That's right. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Well, Mel, we don't have a lot going on this weekend. We will be monitoring the behavior of law enforcement here in the DFW area. There are some events going on this weekend. We'll be keeping track of the law. We don't keep track of the motorcycle clubs. We keep track of how the law is behaving. And be sure if you if you have any contact with the law, especially when it comes to profiling against your motorcycle club, take video. Take video. Post it.
And get the name of the officer that stopped you so we can get the body cam video.
That's right. Get the name of the officer, the street, and the time. Makes it a lot easier to get body cam video when you have those few bits of information. It makes it so much easier. Because what they'll do is, if you don't have one of those, they're going to send us back a letter telling us we don't have enough information for them. Because in many cases, there's multiple law enforcement officers and not just one. But you want to take that main one, I would think, Mel, the main one that's doing all the talking, like Sergeant Steroid. The main one that's doing all the talking. You want his name or her name. Just thought we'd be gender neutral
Gender
there.
neutral,
Yeah.
yes.
Shit. But, Mel, you got anything in closing?
No, I think I have said everything I want to say.
All right. S.A., you got anything?
I'd like to congratulate Louisiana on passing a motorcycle profiling bill. I don't know why Texas can't get it done, but one thing I was thinking about when you were talking about cops and police departments spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
I saw something a couple of weeks ago on TV. Arlington's got a big old armored Hummer. Now,
Oh, yeah.
It makes me feel safer seeing that
Oh,
thing
yeah.
driving around.
Yeah. Yeah, they take it out for a ride every once in a while. I'll see it coming down Cooper Street, this big black monster. And, for all the riots that are going on here, I guess,
Yeah.
or somewhere. Well, Mel, we did have one incident where they used it. Over here, we're in Kennedale, not Arlington, in Kennedale, where the hippies grow vegetables to feed to the homeless and the harmless. So they grow vegetables, and some of the neighborhood over there gets pissed off at them, and they call the Kennedale police and told them, hey, they're growing marijuana and stuff over there. We need to get somebody out here to check it out. Well, Mel, Rick Rose and I would have went over there and checked them out for nothing if they'd have just called us. My old Green Beret buddy. I mean, we know what a marijuana plant looks like. So anyway, Kennedale, not having any of these special team toys, I like to call them. They didn't have any stuff. They called Arlington. So Arlington sends SWAT over there in this armored vehicle he's talking about, the geezer's talking about. They send that over there. They bring out their drones. They're flying drones all over the place. I mean, it's worse than Alice's Restaurant. To go to the vegetable garden in Kennedale. So it was a fiasco. It was stupid, and it was a misuse of our
Public
tax
funds,
dollars.
yes.
Yeah. But I guess it was training of some sorts to go over there and bust the hippies' vegetable garden, where they did not find one marijuana plant anywhere. Just saying. Just saying. And we have plenty of that kind of stuff going on, where now wait a minute, Mel. Now the Arlington police chief is in trouble for using the N word.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, they got this big investigation going on. Probably called out the armored vehicle. Probably called out their drones that they got from the federal government when they had the Super Bowl here, and it turned out to be an ice bowl. But anyway, it was. We have all this extra goody stuff, including tasers for our police officers. You know, they're loaded up with more gear than I've ever seen on one person. I mean, they come out, they got those vests on, they're pumped up, they look like they weigh 400 pounds, including their helmets and their goggles and all the other stuff, their night vision, everything else they got. They're G.I. Joes on standby. But you say the N-word, you're in trouble. Oh, and by the way, somebody did buy the Confederate statue of Jefferson Davis. Yeah, $1.4 million they paid for it.
Wow.
And he's got to say he can't display it anywhere in Dallas. Is that what that is?
Anywhere in Texas, I think.
Oh, anywhere in Texas.
Yeah.
Can't display it anywhere in Texas.
That was taken off city property, was it not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows? I don't know how many are left. But we got a
How
lot.
can they dictate the state
Yeah, but we
and
got.
not their city?
Yeah, we got a lot of county courthouses that still have those type statues. So it'll be interesting to see who's next. But like I say, Dallas is a BLM controlled city, and they all
Gone from
about,
red to purple to blue.
Yeah, they're all about the statues. Make the city safer. Can't hire police officers, but you can spend $1.5 million taking down statues. Well, I guess with the sale of this one, it pays for taking down the others. They're either
It
damn
cost them
minds.
just about $500,000 to remove that, didn't it? If I remember right.
Yeah, $500,000.
It was pretty pricey.
Yeah. That being said, Mel, we quit goofing around now. Everybody, have a great weekend and ride safe. Watch for those cops. Watch for them. If you're in the DFW area, we know there's some things going on this weekend. Be careful, be aware, and have your cameras ready. Good night,
Be safe.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.